Hey YouTube. So I just got back from Virginia Regionals, where I was lucky enough to win the whole thing right after coming back off the Toronto Treasure Cup win. Um, so very lucky using the same deck, same 50, same exact list. Um, if you won with it, why change it? So just ran it back, got lucky again. Just figured I'd very briefly go over my games that I played in that regional. I don't remember them nearly as in depth as or as good as I did my Treasure Cup games when I made that video, but I can still go over basically what happened. And then I wanted to also very quickly go over Rosie's matchups in this meta, in my opinion, and the spread that he has. So hopefully not the longest of videos, just quickly go over some stuff. So this was my run. I played Goofy round one, Sengoku, Shanks, some random rogue early, kind of expected. Nell, Anel, Nami, Goofy, Teach, Boa in the finals. Obviously not expected, but good for me. It's favored. Spoilers, I guess. But yeah, a very balanced spread overall. Two Goofy, two Nami. I mean, two Anel, one Nami, one Teach, and then like three rogue decks. I think that's honestly like almost as expected of a spread as you can get. So, um, won three dice rolls because I don't win those very well, but luckily I win them. I tend to win them later instead of early, which is good. It's probably more important to win them in the later rounds when you're against better players. Round one, Goofy, I lose dice roll, but they actually, again, why they took second, so that's good for me, I guess. Um, but there wasn't too much special about this game. They said they messed up one of their searches, and grabbed the wrong card. Which means, I mean, basically their hand was terrible, and I guess that's why, because they should have taken a different card than what they took at some point. But yeah, this one wasn't really a game. They just kind of drew very bad. Sengoku, this matchup is actually favored for whoever gets first, so it was looking rough, but it was actually their first regional, so I think they weren't too familiar with my deck. Um, so again, early rounds you can get a little lucky with stuff like that. Um, Round three, Shanks lose dice roll. I think this matchup is just fine either way. Obviously, second is preferred though. But this game, I actually just did the normal stuff. Most of these games, I missed promo law. I don't remember which ones exactly, but I barely saw promo law on curve all day. But it just didn't matter. Yeah, I think I saw promo law on this game against Shanks. So I went promo law on three, Rosie law on five. He went to 9-10 Shanks to base up his leader. But the big thing was he missed on four. Instead of having the Shanks blocker, he had the Lucky Roo blocker that's 2K power. Where he just like trash one, draw two or something. I don't remember exactly how it works. Um, so that was really good for me. So then I swung six. He plays that, swings five. I get the free block. I swung like six, seven. Play Rosie Law. He plays the Shank, swing seven. I get the free block. So I'm just under no pressure. And then I had Sokka but no Mama, so I just played another Rosie Law, swung like 8-8, and then he leader affected one of the second eight. Like I swung eight with Rosie, eight with Promo Law. He leader effect 1K'd the Promo Law swing, so I have five Dawn left. I leader effect play another Rosie Law, and then I get to swing seven with my leader, since he leader affected one of the eights. So just getting a bunch of cards out of hand, being aggressive and staying healthy. Then on eight he played the Zoro character rush. Swung like seven with leader again. I free blocked. I think. If he did, he definitely should have swung eight. To be fair, but I don't remember if he swung eight or seven. I feel like he swung seven and I free blocked. And then he swung like at my Rosie Law for 10. I leader effect, and he swung 10 at my Perma Law just to kill it, I guess, and I just let it die, something like that. So I lost my promo law, but it was fine. Then I went Saka, kill the 9-10 shanks, swing 5 at it, swing 8-8 at life, means a 7k, so get a couple more cards. And then leader effect, play another promo law, so I can chunk block. Because this is going into his 10 Dawn turn now, so if he wants to rush shanks, I want to be able to protect my big bodies um, as best as I can. But he actually. I don't remember what happened after that. It basically just curved out from there, though. I honestly don't even remember what happened after that. I think he might have missed 10 shanks and played another 9-10. I can't remember, but it's shanks. They have to draw really perfect to even have a chance into Rosie. If they miss any turns, it's kind of bad for them. So it just kind of went from there, snowballed, and he died very quickly after that. Um, like 1 or 2 turns later. Anel, I got lucky. This Anel did make a couple misplays. If they win dice roll, draw perfect, play perfect, you are gonna lose, you know. But he made a couple misplays. I got the draw off of a couple of my Rosie laws. I think only one of them was like he should have not let me draw. And the other one was actually a funny turn. I had 8 Dawn. He had 5 in hand and a sideways Anel, and like a 1 drop and a pink on board. The pink was standing. I think he just played it. So I have 8 Dawn. I have Mama in hand and stage on board and another Rosie Law. And like pretty much the only thing in my hand I have to play is another Rosie Law. So I actually just go like 12 at the end now with my Rosie Law that's on board currently. So I attach 4 Dawn to that, swing 12 at it, get 2 cards. He goes down to 3 in hand. Then I go stage effect, Mama effect, leader effect. Mama just rests his other 1 drop, so he has no weenies to attach Dawn to. And then stage leader effect, I go down to 4 Dawn and I get to play another Rosie Law that draws a card. Because as much as you want Dawn in the matchup, cards are more important if you can get them. So if I can draw off Rosie Law, I'm basically going to draw off Rosie Law. That's what I decided there. So that was a fun game. It kind of just snowballed from there after I got to draw off 2 Rosie Laws and get a bunch of cards out of hand and just the classic matchup at that point. Round 5, Anel, luckily I won Dice Roll. This was probably the closest match all day. And if he won Dice Roll, I probably didn't have a chance. But I did get lucky. He missed Anel for 2 turns. And then from there, I just played it as tight as I could and got. I think I got a lucky top deck or two. I played all 4 Borsas. Early he went to 3. I just leader effect played Rosie for 4. He did it again. I just played Rosie for 6. And from there we just kind of don't remember every turn from there. It was a very, very long, drawn out game of back and forth. I was able to Sokka a couple of nails when he eventually found them. Not right away, but like eventually. Just slowly stabilized. It was the very, very grindy game, but luckily we both played very fast. So I think we still had a couple minutes left before time when the game was over. Um, he did stun my promo law that I eventually played. I probably played a promo law on like my 8 Dawn after the Rosie law with something else. I don't remember. But he like stunned that for like 3, 4 turns in a row, and I kept autopiloting because my brain was just so focused on what my turn should be and like trying to restand it. And he kept reminding me, "Hey, it's frozen." So if you're watching, thank you. I'm sorry. I promise. I was just wait. I usually remember that type of thing. I was very very focused on what my play should be. So I was just auto restanding my board without thinking. So apologies about that. Um, but yeah, very grindy game. 4 Borsas, just very classic Anel Rosie game, just much grindier because he didn't make any misplays, to be honest. He just didn't quite draw well enough. And I drew very well and got lucky. So on 6, this was actually against Chris Sock. Um There's another weird game. I don't remember if I saw promo on Curve. I feel like I didn't, but I can't remember. But it's just classic Nami game. I just kind of hit them. I didn't see any Sakamamas, so unfortunately he was able to play big bodies and keep them. Like he even played a Teach on 9, which is normally like very good for me if you do something like that. But I didn't have the Sakamama to punish it, so that just meant I was gonna get hit by a 10k and the Robin that was already on board from the previous turn every turn. So once that happened, it kind of became much more of a race than it normally is. Like you play aggressive generally, but you don't necessarily have to race them. But I basically had to turn it into a race because all of his bodies were sticking. So I just was very aggressive, played always made sure I had just enough to live and swung, and eventually he did die, just probably because he only triggered like one time, luckily. So kind of probably needed that luck for me on my end because I wasn't able to draw any like Sakamamas or anything like that, not too well. Um, round 7. Oh, and Slow. I had Slow for he played a new gate at some point, I think, and I had Slow to rest it. That set me up for lethal. So the one Slow coming in again, very very good card. Um, Goofy round 7. So we do our dice rolls. We get our opening hands. I look at my first hand, and it is Kobe, Suru, Promolaw, Rosie Law, and Sokka. Um, so I looked at 6 cards, so I had them all again, unfortunately. And Sokka was the 6 card, so a hand would have actually just been goaded. Suru, Kobe, Promo, Rosie. Um, but I didn't double check. I thought I checked, but apparently not well enough. I had 6 cards, so I had them all again. Very unfortunate there. So my hand after Mulligan was like Borsa, Mama, Borsa, X Drake, something like that. It was very, very bad. But got very lucky. We were able to get there in the end off a couple misplays from his end. I only played one Rosie Law all game and no Sokkas, and it was just 6k bodies and lower from there. And the one Rosie Law I played got to swing like once before it got grab bladed, I think. Um, so it was a very awkward game. I thought it was cooked, but I got lucky and I whiplawed him twice. Uh, and they hit some decent cards. The the second whiplaw was just honestly it shouldn't have happened. He just played into it. He just wasn't expecting it. So again, very lucky that he misplayed there and uh took the 7 cards in hand to get whiplawed again. Um, I will say on on my final turn, like his turn before my final turn, he was swinging, and I was like never gonna be able to play for another turn with the board state, but I was also never dead. So I ended up countering a 6 that would have put me to 0 when all he has is one more swing, and I should have just taken the 6 just to play for the slow in life. Because it was there, so it was kind of like a reminder. Because I took the 7 after, and I was like, oh, the 7, I got so from my last life. He has one blocker. If I took the 6, I could have so-so'd the 7 to rest his blocker. Um, but I didn't think about it at the time. And obviously after that 7, he had no more swing, so he had one blocker. I had like 10 Dawn. He just played Boa on my Borsalino because that's how big my board was. So I have like one promo, one Borsa, one Weenie, and a Whiplaw to go for game into like 4 in hand or 3 in hand, something like that. One life, one blocker. So it's still like decent odds that I kill. I think it was 5 in hand actually though. But yeah, so it's still like not terrible math. Like I swung some 7s. I swung 7, he 2-1. I swung 7, he blocked. I swung 7, he took, and I swung 11 and he died. He had like 2 bricks in hand. But it definitely, I should have been able to just secure it by taking that life because playing to the slow out. But Either way, we take it. We got lucky. Tournament runs always come with luck. This whole run was just luck. Everything is luck. Um, Round eight, teach again. This is 7-0 going into the round before finals in the regional. Um, but he he made a very bad misplay on his sixth on turn. Just miscalculated some stuff, and it let me win the game. Because I actually saw no promo law, which is really this is like if there is a matchup you need to see promo law going first, it probably is teach. But I didn't see it, and then I didn't draw any mamas, so I had no mamas for his bodies. But on six Dawn, on five, I played my Rosie Law obviously and had some weenies out there. And then on six, on four he played Burgess. On six he played another Burgess. So I guess he didn't have Shiryu. But then he also decided not to starve, which is fine. I guess that's like it's still split whether or not they should starve or not. I honestly don't know at this point. It feels fine for me either way, so I don't really have good input there. But he swings on four, I take, and then on six he swings with his leader. I free block. He swings. He plays the Burgess, and then he swings with his Burgess as well. And his Burgess is still a 5K. So he swings like 6-6 with leader Burgess. I block and take. And then once he does that, it's like okay, well now I'm not really getting punished for not having mamas. So I just start my turn 8 at the Burgess, and I guess he thought he was gonna be able to save the Burgess, but he only had like 2 in trash because he didn't have stage. So he goes leader effect to Vasco to protect the Burgess from my Rosie Law's 8K Resta Weenie. So now he has 3 in trash, so if I swing 7 at it, he just has to give it 2K. So I swing 8 at it and say, okay, well, you're going to give me 2 more cards. And he didn't. It died. So, um, and then once it died, I just leader effect, play Rosie Law. And the game from there was just kind of standard. 9 Dawn, 8 Dawn, he plays Teach. 9 Dawn, I play Sokka. No Mama, unfortunately, but I just reduced the Teach so it can't hit me. Um, and I don't really remember too much about how the game went from there, but basically him not having that Burgess on board that he played earlier if he kept it standing. Because eventually they got big, like the other one he played got big. Eventually, obviously. So him not having that made it so I was under a lot less of pressure, and I was able to just kill him very quickly from there. Um, yeah, so just standard game from that spot after he made that misplay. It's basically like he missed on six at that point, right? And that's good for me, obviously. So even if I don't see mamas and miss promo, can come back. And then round nine, Boa. It's a very favored matchup. I went first. I missed promo again. He plays not Hiyori, but the grandma, so basically Hiyori on two to stack life. So because I missed promo, I don't swing first life just so he doesn't go quite too fast for me. So on three, I don't know. I might have played a searcher or something in past. I don't remember exactly. On four, he played Reen or something. The four drop that attaches activate main attach a Don to your leader. He did that. Swing six. I took, and then on five, I swung because you can't really starve the whole time. They'll just get infinite life. So I swung. He lucky for me, it wasn't even a trigger body. He actually put a femur into life. So I mean, I guess I missed the first swing for nothing, but better safe than sorry. Play Rosie Law, yada yada. Next turn he does something. I don't remember what body. Basically from there he swings at free block one, take one, play I think I just played Sokka just to not play into Gravity Blade. I played Sokka on seven, just swung like 5-8. And then from there I think he triggered like one body from those as well. So he had three bodies on board, but one was a 0K power basically. So he had three swings to my two life, I think. And I just kinda took took or gave like a 1K for one of them or 2K for one of them, and I just took the zero that turn. Um, Killed his board. He literally lost every creature he had on board that turn. turn. And I just stayed at 0 because if he wants to femur his leader on 8 Dawn and swing 13, like I wasn't dead, and then he just is so far behind, so I was fine with it. And then I think he just ended up playing a teach, so I just Saka Mama'd it again, actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think I like Saka Mama'd and Mama'd his other body that was minus. I think he triggered like a Shaku is what it was. And that's what I minus, so it was still standing, but on my 9 Dawn turn, but I had 8 Dawn because I Saka'd. He played his teach on 5, on 8, I think, and just swung some base numbers. And then I Saka Mama the teach, just clear his entire board. I'm remembering this a little bit wrong for sure, but this is basically what happened, right? I just cleared his board, took the 0 that turn, and I stayed at 0 for a turn or two when I wasn't really, because if they have no 10Ks, you're not too scared to sit at 0 generally. You can even have no blockers, and it's probably fine. As long as you have Dawn up to not lose your entire hand or die, whatever. So that game went from there, and I just eventually, you know, kept clearing his board, kept hitting him, and there wasn't really anything for them to do. It was a very favored matchup. But yeah, so that was my run. Very lucky in a lot of senses, of course. That's if you win, you get lucky. Even if you win twice in a row, got lucky twice. Um, quickly go into the matchup spread. I probably forgot some decks, but I think this is basically. I basically just pulled this from the tier list that I had before and took off Buggy because I have no idea. Well, I've not really played against Buggy ever. But we'll just go bottom down, I guess. Calgara is a hard matchup just because they're very fast. It's hard to control their board because of how much they just adding cards to their hand every turn. But they're still too defensive to actually race because of Borsa and Dawns and a bunch of other ways to heal, like Kana events. So it's an unfavored matchup, but it is winnable. There's lines if they don't draw too optimal. Um, but it's not fun. Ace Luffy, I also think is pretty unfavored. Um, if they don't see Luna or anything, I think it's probably fine. Or if they miss the Rush Luffy that rests your blockers. But assuming they draw their curve, it almost feels like there's just nothing you can do. You have to draw like perfect to have a chance. Um, they're just tall, right? You can't control their board because they're 9Ks. So you have to Sokka the important bodies, like mainly the Rush Luffy. The thing that makes them a 7 isn't even that bad for your deck, for our deck, but the Rush Luffy like needs to die. So you basically have to Sokka on curve if they have that, and then that can be very painful on the follow up. Um, but yeah, ideally they just don't see a bunch of Lunas and don't have too much pressure, and you can try to stabilize. A no, we all know a no. I think it's only slightly unfavored. But this is like so varied. Like I think a bad no is probably favored, or slightly favored, but a good no is like slightly unfavored to unfavored, depending on how they draw. But that's the thing; they do need to draw well. So that's why I just ended up saying it's probably a slightly unfavored matchup. It's not that bad. Um, Ace kind of the same thing. They have to draw perfect, and if they do, it's hard. But if they don't, it's very, very playable and winnable. And also, not many good players are still playing Ace, so you can fundamentals check a lot of them. Even Sengoku, I would say, is just favored for whoever goes first. So that's why it's even, just a dice roll matchup. There's still lines if you go second. I actually think Sen- we have a better deck going second than Sengoku does, I think. If we go first, Sengoku's probably just dead. If we go second, I think we still have a chance, but Sengoku's definitely favored. Um, but yeah. Red Green Luffy, I think this matchup is fine. It just like most green decks, it just comes down to how many Lunas they see. If they don't see like at least two, probably three Lunas. Oh, one sec. Um, then you just kind of roll them over. You Sokka, control their board and heal, and you're never really under any threat. So I think it's fine. Goofy, I mean, I kind of explained it in the last video where I went over. I mean, the big five I kind of already explained in the last video, right? But yeah, Goofy I think is even. It's just a hand compare matchup. Um, it's also a skill diff matchup. Like if they're not as good as you, you can out skill basically. Um, Mihawk slightly favored. Only reason it's slightly is because they have a green card called Luna. Starter deck's obviously coming out. I've only played like 5 games of the starter deck meta, but played against like I made a little Twitter post for it. Played against like two Mihawk, a Kid and a Nell, and Kuzan, and I was able to win them all. But obviously, it's like small sample size, as this guy wanted to point out, as if I didn't know. Um, but also, it is it's like low elo, right? Because it's a whole separate ladder. It's like fresh elo, so it's like 30 bill or 30 mil, or whatever the fuck. So it's also low elo randoms, but I don't know. I looked at some of the starter deck cards, and I honestly, okay, I only looked at the yellow and purple ones because I was trying to see if any of them could be played in Rosie. I haven't actually read. I know they got some Mihawk because I saw them playing that. I don't even know what blue got. I don't know if the Kuzan played anything that was starter deck or not. They kind of just died. I don't know. Um, and then I don't know what other colors got starter deck. Like obviously they all got starter decks, but I don't know what other decks are actually considered to potentially be viable because of it. But I mean, they all seemed like very fine matchups for me. Like I didn't draw bad. I drew well, but I didn't draw insane or anything, and I was just able to win them all. The kid, all right. I should have recorded this kid game. This motherfucker healed like 12 times, unironically. Unironically, I think he healed double-digit times, but it just it doesn't matter because I can just outgrind and slowly kill them. But motherfucker played like Zoro, Borsa, and the new kid, whatever, killer, whatever card that heals. And he played so many of them, plus other cards. It's fucking criminal how much this deck just healed in this game. But they eventually also got outgrinded. Um, so not too sure. I'll have more of an opinion. I'll probably do a starter deck matchup video, I guess, at some point. I don't know. We'll see. No promises. I'm still not a committed YouTuber. I've just been a little bit more active lately. Um, but yeah. So Mihawk seems fine even after starter decks. I think we'll see. OP-17 is a whole nother story. There's some insane power creep going on like normal. But yeah. Yamato favored. They just can't really kill you like they try to. Ace, I've honestly never played this matchup in my life, but from everything I've heard and everything I would assume, it is favored. Shanks is favored. You just kill them. They can't really pressure you unless they draw perfect and you miss something. Boa is favored, as I explained in round 9 how to play the matchup. You just kind of like you hit when you can afford them to trigger, and then you just take the 0 on a turn and clear their board, and it's fine. Um, Nami is favored, and Teach favored. Um, but yeah, so that is quick little overview of my lucky regional run, Rosie's matchups, and a small glimpse into the starter decks matchups, I guess. Just real quick, let me just look at the starter deck cards. It's SD31, that would be the new one, right? Uh, this probably isn't gonna help any deck. Or is it 35? Oh, it's probably both, right? Because there's a Sabo. Okay, fair. Opponent's turn. Yeah, I mean, sure. Sure. Just trying to see what cards could affect Rosie, I guess. or could help some deck get relevant enough. But red is obviously a favorite color for Rosie generally anyway, unless they have green in the tag as well and 9K bodies that can't be attacked really. Um, I mean, sure, whatever. I don't think there's anything that red that changes. I guess people were hyping this for red green Luffy. I remember that. But again, I think that matchup is fine unless they see like infinite Lunas. C32. Yeah, so the new what, 3 new cards? It's gotta be more than that. This Kinemon, so 5 new cards. Yeah, I think everyone got 5, right? A little bit more consistency for Mihawk, I guess. The Rush character 2K is funny. Um, yeah, I guess it doesn't really affect our matchup, obviously. As Rosie, this has Rush character, cost 2 or less, so yeah, that doesn't really affect us at all. That don't care. This Odin was really good. This Odin's annoying. I did have one Mihawk had like 20 cards in hand somehow because Wano Mihawk, I guess. Um, and they kept telling me my Rosie Laws can't be rested, which was annoying. But they still eventually died as well because their board is very susceptible to 8K bodies. They can't tell all, like once I play Sokka, they couldn't really say that one can't rest, and it also clears one. Um, and I riplawed that guy like at least twice, maybe 3 times. I don't remember. um, yeah, this Odin is a quote unquote problem for Rosie, but it's fine. I don't think it's really that bad. This Mihawk is obviously good for them. So green's probably like a little scary. Blue, I mean, this blocker, Kobe, sure. I don't think the Kuzan actually played any of these in our match. I don't know if he just drew bad or what. What is this is bad? There's, none of these. This Katakiri, like I said, I was looking at cards that you could potentially play in Rosie, and I guess technically you could play this Rosie. I can almost guarantee it's not worth it. But theoretically, right, you could play Sako or Rosie Law off of it, which is like funny. um, and it's like basically saying, hey, you're not gonna kill this thing. We basically have our own Nami that's just gonna stick there all game. But like we would basically never want to play this over Rosie Law, and it's not searchable and doesn't have counter, so like we're not playing it. Obviously, we would play Killer if it wasn't leader locked, but it is leader locked, so no. This kid is also funny. Like it's technically playable, but again, you just would never play this over anything else. Like I'm 6'9", I'm playing Mozilla over this like every time. So just you know, it's just obviously not played. And then yeah, I mean this card, this Rapu is pretty good for them, but we don't. Our deck doesn't actually care. Like if we're talking about Yellow Kid, right? Our deck doesn't actually care if the leader becomes a 7K because our whole board is basically 8Ks, so that's fine. The killer's obviously very annoying. Heal. This kid is also very annoying. I think this kid is like kill on sight if you can. Um, if they play it, it it gives them a lot of value. Um, but yeah, this man played like 4 killers, like healed 10 plus times at least in our match. It was kind of crazy. And I guess there's only a few black ones because the Sabo starter deck was red and black. But yeah, nothing else really changes. It's mainly these yellow cards for Kid and these green cards for Mihawk. And I guess potentially Kuzan, but Kuzan should like theoretically be a bad matchup, but I actually think it's probably fine. Again, they're probably just gonna hope to blow you out with Grab Blade, and as I've always said, I don't care if people Grab Blade me. Like the card is so easy to play around. Instead of second Rosie Law, just play Osaka, and you automatically your the Gravity Blade is like infinite times worse. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I kind of just went on a ramble at the end there. Just kind of felt like it. But yeah, peace.